So I just wanted to talk about the downside of being the best version of yourself, because people just make it seem like it's so easy to do, but it's not. It is not easy to become the best version of yourself. It's way easier to stay at the mediocre version of yourself. Yo, party people, it's Ashley of SingleWomanChronicles.com, where I encourage women to be the best version of themselves through healing and avoiding certain pitfalls in dating. And today's episode is brought to you by my book, How to X Your Ex, a guide to getting past unhealthy relationships. It is time to end the agonizing cycle of unhealthy relationships. Most people struggle with breakups because they just don't know how to start the healing process. How to X Your Ex is a step-by-step guide on moving past unhealthy relationships. Renew your strength and find happiness again by walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. Start fresh by Xing your ex. Learn how to stop the overwhelming thoughts of your ex, get rid of the feelings of regret and shame, eliminate the crushing feelings of rejection, be at peace with your decision to leave, and be hopeful that there is better out there for you. Start fresh today. Get How to X Your Ex on Audible if you would like to listen to it. And it, of course, is on Amazon, as well as books on Google Play and Apple, as well as Barnes & Noble website. I always forget Barnes & Noble. All right. Shout out to my girl, the Rich Twin, Regine. She gave me this shirt. You really can't see it, but it says happily single. But unfortunately, today I'm not happily anything, because if you are watching this, you can see in my eyes that I am very tired. But I'm also I'm sick and I'm tired of being tired. I am in one of those days where like you feel like F everything, F everyone, even if they haven't done anything to you, F it all, because I'm tired. I'm weary. You know, when they say in the Bible, don't be weary of well-doing, I'm weary of well-doing today. Okay. And I feel like it's important for people to make videos while they're in that negative feeling, because I think too many times on the internet, especially Instagram, oh my God, because everything is like, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. Oh my God, this is annoying me. My hair, should have gelled this down. Anyway, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect. You lose sight that everyone has bad days. Today is one of those for me, because I just feel like sometimes when I'm fighting to be the best version of myself, it's getting me nowhere. Like, I feel like I should have just accepted the offers to get sugar daddies when I was in my early 20s. And not having integrity. I should have just, accepted the money for coochie, because at this point I'm tired. Like, I am so tired. So today I wanted to talk about the downside of being the best version of yourself, because it's not glitz and glamour. Growth is ugly. Growth is exhausting. Growth sucks sometimes. Growth sucks most times. Growth is necessary to level up and to be at the top of your game. But a lot of people don't want to do it. They want to fake the funk because the process is disgusting. Okay. And I just want to talk about the downside of becoming the best version of yourself today. Okay. So the best version of me is doing this podcast because nothing in me wanted to do this. Like, I literally just was like, I don't want to do this. I'm not going to do this today. But then I went to my analytics and looked at how many people listen to me every Tuesday. And I said, okay, you got to do it even when you don't feel like it. Because if you were at a network and the network was paying you to do this weekly, you would have to do it regardless of how you feel. So you're going to do it anyway. So here I am. And you're probably like, what happened? Nothing happened. I'm just tired of fighting for the height of who I am and it feeling like it's in vain. That's just really what it is today. But I took notes in my phone. Let me pull these out. So, what is the point of being the best version of yourself, you might ask? I think that being the best version of yourself is the only way you're going to reach your fullest potential in life. And nobody's perfect, but you can shoot to be the best. So, for example, when you go into work, are you shooting for the stars? Are you shooting to give your peak performance at the job you love, or are you at a job that you hate, so you're like, whatever? In your relationships, are you shooting to be the best friend you can be, or you just like, whatever, if they want to be here they can, if they don't, then whatever? Are you shooting to be a better person like every single day? So I think the only way to reach certain goals is to be the best you, and not by being the best you that these fake gurus are telling you to do. Oh, follow these steps and you will be the best version of you. Because truth be told, the best version of everybody looks different. My best gonna look different from somebody else's best. So it's just about getting in tune with who you are and the things that you need to do. And of course, for me, I gotta go deep with God, because he's my creator, and the person who created me is the only one who can tell me what the best version of me looks like. And so I have to ask myself, am I being the best version of me in this response? Am I being the best version of me in this day? Am I being the best version of me in this aspect of my life? So right now, my aim is to be the best version of myself in my career, in my relationships, and in like me being single. Me and my friend have been, I keep saying, oh, I hate that. Me and my friend have been talking about the struggle we're going through right now in our single season, just feeling exhausted with the process, because you are a good person. You don't have ill intentions. You're really trying to meet someone genuine. You've done the work, and you still may end up choosing wrong. You still may end up waiting. And that is just a disgusting process. But I also think a big thing that single women do is, when I talked about this last episode, but we have a lack mindset. So when we meet someone, we immediately attach our want and desire for a husband to that person. So we start to dream of all that they can be to us without fully knowing who they are. So when they disappoint us, it hits different. And then when we get disappointed, because a lot of times it's not even a long-term thing. Like, we can meet someone on Monday and get really excited because we're thinking, oh, this might be it. And then they disappoint us by Thursday. And we're like, oh my God, I'm crumbling. My life sucks. And that happens because, one, we've attached our desires to that person. And two, we have this lack mindset thinking that, oh, there are not enough good men out there. If you keep hearing that over and over, even if you don't understand in your conscience that you believe it, subconsciously, you are going to believe that. We have to stop listening to those messages. The podcast, Dear Future Wifey, has helped me to stop believing that lie and to start to cultivate a mindset of abundance in my love life, because I'm trying to cultivate it in my love life and my finances and in my career right now. More opportunities, more money, more dudes who are good prospects who want to date me specifically, right? And I think it's so important, because how we show up in our mind is how it's going to pan out. So if like we show up in our minds thinking that, oh my God, this is the only guy I'm going to meet, he's so great, I have to cling to him, then we're going to be desperate, we're going to be clingy, we're going to lose a bit of our confidence. We're not going to show up like that. We're going to start blaming ourselves, like, oh, maybe I should have done this, or maybe I should have done that, or maybe we ain't got time for that. No. We got to think abundance, okay? So I'm learning to think abundance by paying attention to the things around me that are already in abundance. Like, how many people already tried to approach you that you turned down? Last week, I had a UPS driver literally chase my car down. I was kind of scared because I'm like, why is this UPS truck behind me? Why? Why is he behind me? Is he stalking me? Is he trying to run me over? What is happening right now? But he was trying to get my attention, but I was zoned out. So he followed me across the street to the Kroger, and I finally parked, and then he was parked up front. So I'm walking in, and he comes up to me. He's like, hey, you're really hard to catch up to. And I'm like, you were following me. So yes, I got followed by the UPS man because he was trying to get my phone number. So it's like, you'll have seasons in your life where you're thinking, oh my God, I'm not pretty enough. Oh my God, I'm not good enough. But then you'll have a day where a UPS driver tracks you down And you have to pay attention to that. You have to take note of that. Like, how many dudes are stalking you, even if they are good, like the ones you want or not, that's still in abundance. Like, it's still more dudes out here after you than you want to give credit to. Whatever we focus on is what is going to be prosperous in our minds. Like, worry and faith are the same thing. It's just about what we focus on. Faith is focusing on God. Worry is focusing on your problems. So you have to switch your focus. So one of the biggest downsides of becoming the best version of yourself is your mindset. It's really hard to cultivate a good mindset, especially in a reality of social media where you have so many people that are just negative for no reason. And it's just hard, and it's just so much comparison because everyone seems to be doing better than you. And everyone seems to hate good things. For example, shout out to Chloe Bailey. I went to see her yesterday in concert. She's amazing. I don't really understand why so many people hate on her for no reason. Like, this girl literally just wakes up, minds her business, makes music, dances very greatly, has a body that be bodying, and just gets so much hate for no reason. And in a world like that, you're just like, how can I stay positive when I'm doing the best I can, I'm minding my business, and people still got something to say? That's how you stay positive. Understanding that even when you do all you can to be great, people still gonna say something. So ignore them. Like, just do what you do, mind your business, and just excel, peak. We know this. We know this is a part of the process of you being your best. People gonna hate because they haven't done the work to be their best, and they're mad at you because you did and you accelerated. Like, come on, fam. But yeah, mindset has to change. Last year, I spent basically most of my year getting my mindset to the point where I was going to go after my dreams at another level that I hadn't before. I want to talk about how my first love was dance. I used to love dancing, you guys. Like, oh my God, I fell in love with dancing when I was like 10. And I really wasn't good at first. And I taught myself how. And then in high school, I was on a dance team. And then in college, I started pursuing being a backup dancer. I've been backup dancer for like new artists. We've opened concerts for, we as in me and like my friends who were doing the same thing. We've opened concerts for like Rick Ross. Like, I've been backstage at these places and really had a chance, but I gave up. And I gave up because mostly I was in college and I didn't really have a support system that was saying, hey, you need to follow this dream. And I didn't understand myself and how I'm a creative, so I can't be in a box. So I felt like, okay, I have to focus on school and getting a quote unquote real job. And that's the only way that I'm going to be successful in life. I didn't think dance was like a feasible career. So I gave up. I quit. And I often think about what would have happened if I actually sacrificed and like took it seriously and just really focused on it. If I had a support system, if I knew what I know now, how that would have turned out. But it hurts my heart. Like, it's sad that it's been so long. It's been like over a decade, but like, I still grieve that. But what helps me fighting to be the best version of myself is like, okay, well, I realized that God didn't call me to dance, because if he did, then it would have happened. He called me to writing. He called me to doing what I'm doing. Being an influencer, which I don't know why I don't identify with being an influencer. It's weird, but like, I don't know why. Like, I don't proudly walk in that. I'll figure that out later, but this is what I'm called to. So, and I think at this level, sometimes you have to cheer yourself on. I have a way better support system now because I have friends who do the same things as far as like, they own businesses, they're creators, they are fighting to be the best version of themselves in a career that doesn't have a step-by-step process. Like, if you're trying to be a doctor, you're trying to be a lawyer, if you're trying to be like in tech, it's a little bit easier to gauge where you are because you take this course, you apply for jobs, you wait for answers, but when you are an artist, if you're a writer, if you're an actor, if you're a musician, it's not, you don't know. You never know where you don't know. You can't gauge it because Like, there's no person you can apply to. There's no person that can tell you, like, it don't matter how many followers you got. It don't matter how many opportunities you have. Like, you just never know until you get that big break. Like, until your suddenly comes. You know what I mean? Like, you just never know. So it's harder. So your mindset has to be in a place where no matter what or how I feel, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to continue to be consistent. If life feels like hell, why would I stop in hell? That's what Les Brown said, and that's stuck. So your mindset has to go before you go. And so that's one of the hardest parts, because on days you're going to want to feel sorry for yourself. On days you're not going to want to shoot your podcast like me today. On days you're going to feel like this is all stupid and in vain. But you have to tell yourself and remind yourself nothing is in vain. It's all preparation. You have to have a level of insanity that most people don't have, because it don't make sense. Like, it really don't make sense. So your mindset has to go before anything. And that's the hardest thing to build, because your foundation is going to be your mindset. Of course, your faith comes first, but then your mindset is second. Like, your mind has to go, because what you believe is how you behave, and how you behave is what's going to get you to where you want to go. So you have to believe it first. And if you don't even believe it, you're not going to do the things necessary to do it. And that's just point blank, period. Because you're going to still be like, oh, I have a plan B. Oh, well, I can do this. You're going to start chasing money. You're going to start chasing things in order to get you out of there faster and get shortcuts. But there are no shortcuts. All you can do is the hard work. You do the hard work. You make the sacrifices. You're not always going to be up. Sometimes you're going to be down. A lot of times you're going to be down, especially in the beginning when you're fighting for it. So that's one of the downsides of becoming the best version of yourself. The second thing is just the hard work and the stretch. You are going to be stretched. You are going to be stretched out of your comfort zone. For example, people like Beyonce are natural born stars. Stars, hands down. She's a star. Ever since I heard No for the first time on the radio with Destiny's Child when I was like 10, which was my jizam, we knew Beyonce is a star. Everybody in the group, we know they stars, right? But if you're just a natural born star, in order to be the best, because it's other natural born stars, you have to stretch beyond your current capacity to be the best. Beyonce, we saw the documentary with her doing Coachella. This woman prepared for that show for 8 months. You can sit and ask yourself, why would somebody like Beyonce, who is hands down the most famous person that we know right now, she's known all around the world. She's on a first name basis. She's on a first letter basis. You know who she is. She is the best. But she still takes 8 months to prepare for a concert for 2 nights. It's because of the hard work. If you want to be the best, you have to stretch. You have to stretch beyond what you are currently doing. And that part is hard. And let me tell you, you're going to fail a lot at that. You're going to fail a lot, because you're going to start and you're going to stop. And I'm going to tell you why you're going to do that. You're going to do that because it's going to feel in vain. Because at first, nothing's going to happen. At first, you're going to be going to the gym for 3 weeks straight, and you're not going to lose not a pound. You're going to be applying for jobs or trying to shoot your shot to get clients, and you're going to get 65 no's. And you're going to want to quit. And you might actually quit. But then one day you're going to realize the only way to get to the other side is to get to the other side. So you're going to have to keep fighting. Even in the nighttime when nobody sees you, that's where stars are born. That's where victory comes from. The dark places. When nobody's watching, what are you doing? When nobody's clapping or applauding, what are you doing? There is no such thing as overnight success. These people who blow up, quote unquote, overnight, they've been working and grinding in the dark. That's where success is made. So if you're trying to be the best version of yourself, you're going to have to stretch beyond your comfort zone. You got to get it. You got to do it. 3, the sacrifice. The sacrifice is hard. The sacrifice is very, very hard. I'm going to talk about dating and really wanting marriage and being single in a world where I'm not going to say everyone, it feels like most of society has decided that it's easier to just not be serious, to share partners, to just make it all about sex because feelings hurt and nobody else is serious because I got my heart broken at one time or those 3 times or those 5 times. So I'ma just, as a woman, treat them how they treat me. I'ma just, as a man, you know, smash whoever because they throwing it at me. Like, when you're in that kind of society, but you actually want a serious relationship, it feels impossible. But that's not the truth. So you're going to get lonely. Like, that's hands down. You're going to get lonely. You're going to get lonely. You're going to feel alone a lot. But in those moments, it's a sacrifice because if you're like me, when you feel lonely, you think the solution to my loneliness is to get somebody to be here with me. So what am I going to do? I'm going to solve my own problem. I'm going to find a random who may not be someone I want to marry, but I'm just going to date him and hang out with him. And I'm going to scratch my itch. And then either we're going to keep hanging out and I know it's unserious and I know I'm kind of like not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is just waiting and not filling space with things that are, I guess I'm trying to find the word, with things that are not helping me. They're actually hindering me because I'm becoming dependent on a person to fulfill me or scratch my itch when I'm lonely, when I should be dependent upon God. Because what I do know is, even in marriages, people are lonely. So when people are lonely in marriages, they can't just go out and find somebody else to fill that. You need to learn how to fill that gap when you're single, because the last thing you want to do is be dependent upon another person helping you to get over that lonely gap, because that's how you end up cheating. That's how you end up stepping out. That's how you end up developing bad habits and not understanding that, oh, I didn't fix this when I was single, so now I got to fix it when I'm married. Can I fix it when I'm married? I'm sure you can, but it's a little bit harder. So I think that's one way to think about the sacrifice, because it's in just building the discipline and the muscle around being, what my shirt says, happily single, being hopeful, having an abundant mindset, thinking like, because I get it. When you've been disappointed a lot, you stop having belief that that person is out there. You start believing the hype that there are no good people. Like I listened to a TikTok today of this young lady talking about how all her friends told her that there were no good men in Atlanta, and she met her husband before she moved here at an open house, because God be God. So you have to think in abundant mindset. Like, I don't care what y'all, I got favor. I'm God's favorite. So I don't care what y'all saying for y'all, but for me in my house, I'm gonna be mine. I don't care. So the sacrifice of not doing what everybody else is doing on days when you don't want to do something, doing it anyway, doing it over your feelings, because your feelings are going to lie to you. And if you go by your feelings, you ain't never going to get nothing done. Because I don't be feeling like it 92% of the time. I don't feel like it, but I do it anyway. So you have to make the sacrifice. You have to do it. And if you're chasing money and you want to do a career that is not lucrative in the beginning, that you have to like really fight for, you have to make the sacrifice to cut back on your finances or cut back on your bills, because you got to start somewhere. And many times, like, that focus is going to take you to get your foundation together. You're not going to be getting paid. Like, you're going to be doing that for free, unfortunately. So you're going to have to build that foundation and just have faith that I'm going to get to the other side. Like, what would life be like if you knew you were going to get to the other side? Like, how much harder would you fight? And lastly, the downside is just the discipline. Oh my God. The only way to really truly sacrifice is to be disciplined. Like, you have to be. Oh my God. I realized how much I lack discipline. I think more so in my wilderness season of life, where I had just became celibate, and I feel like celibacy builds discipline on another level. But I realized, even going back to dance, like, I was only practicing when I had to practice. I wasn't by myself practicing, learning random dance moves and like what all the other dancers do. I was just doing the bare minimum. And I just wasn't disciplined enough. Like, I quit when it got hard. I quit when everyone was saying things. And like, now as a writer, the discipline I have to have, and I can be even more disciplined. I'm trying to build my discipline even more in writing right now, because I want to be able to like write even when I don't feel in a creative space. Because if anyone's a creator, you know, like when you're not in a creative space and you have to like force yourself to do it, it's harder, but you can still do it. Cause yeah, you can. So the discipline you have to kind of like reach your next level is crazy. It's crazy. And you really have to start with little stuff that you can do, like waking up earlier, you know, getting meditation time in, working out when you say you're going to work out, um, working on your business for 30 minutes every day. Like those things, they are hard because it's always other stuff you can be doing. You could be watching TV. You could be binge watching something. You could be eating. You can be, you know, doing one of your favorite pastimes, but instead you're dedicating that to building your business or building what you are trying to do. So listen, it's tough, but you can do it. So I just wanted to talk about the downside of being the best version of yourself, because people just make it seem like it's so easy to do, but it's not. It is not easy to become the best version of yourself. It's way easier to stay at the mediocre version of yourself, at the status quo version of yourself. It's quite simple there, because when you're shooting to be the best at anything, you're going to stretch. Your mindset has to change. You have to be disciplined and you have to make the sacrifice. So I don't know what's glamorous about that. The only glamorous thing is when you make it to the other side, and who knows how long that's going to take, because everybody's journey is different. Like, so you just got to keep fighting and know what's going to happen. And that's a part of mindset. So hopefully I blessed somebody today. Hopefully I helped somebody out. And until next time, bye.